seriously corroded. Look at that, gone rusty and shiny. Look at that job, it's so good. Hello everyone, Andy here and welcome to another video on the car. This is something that I wanted to get done before the shows start in summer. Actually, we're in summer now, early summer, and the weather is atrocious, and I'm just going to try and take what opportunity I can to let you know what I want to do. Even though you look from here and you think, wow, yeah, the car looks mint, proper sort of, you know, nice and shiny and everything, but when you look up close, look at the state of the strut brace. Now, a lot of this comes from the problem of water getting in through these, it's called the Scuttle panel, and it goes into the wiper blade panel here, and it builds up, and obviously there must be some little fractures probably that's happened, and it's literally, it's flaking and it's rusted. Don't like the look of it. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is to remove the wipers, remove the Scuttle panel, so I can remove the strut brace. On this side it's alright because we don't have that issue, but being this kind of a bit of a show car, I know it's still a daily, but it is sort of my show car as well, and I want to try and go for a show and shine at Ford Fest in September this year, so I want the engine bay looking as good as possible. So as well as the strut brace that I'm going to take off, I also have never been happy with this dull, horrible finish that's on the top struts. You know, it just looks a little bit untidy. And it's the same over here. You know, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, they're nice and clean, they're literally clean and spotless, but just like the underneath of the bonnet, you know, from factory it's never finished properly. So while this is off, I'm going to go back to Flawless, who did the car paint job, and I'm going to get him to paint the top struts in Panther Black, all the way down to the bottom. And also, if you can see down here, this is the battery tray. This really lets down the car, you know. If you get your head stuck in, then obviously, you know, otherwise you never would see underneath there. But I know it's there, and I don't know if you can quite see, but you know, you can still see it down there. It is extremely rusty. It's just one of those things that's common with these cars. So I'll show you now. I have got a new one, but there is a few marks on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to a powder coaters, the same place that's doing the strut brace, to properly powder coat it so it should last a lot longer. Whoa, I mean, look at that. If you look under there, it is in a sorry state, and I'm looking to get this done as well at the powder coats, because even though I did an alright job, it's just a little bit rough. It's not super glossy, and I want them to do the same powder coating job as the strut brace. Gosh, so just look at this. It's actually a little bit rusty back here. That's just the washers. I'm going to give this all a bit of a clean, but you can really see, look at that, look how badly rusty this is. Now I'm hoping when I take this off, I should be able to see what's like a drainage hole, and I'm hoping that that's one of the things I'll be able to help with this stopping to rust, is if there's a drainage hole under there. But also, as you can see, some of the old sealant that is completely corroded. Just look at this. I tried to fix some of it here, but it is so badly deteriorated the whole way along, and I guess all of this has not been helping with water getting in. I have bought this bead, like rubber sealant bead, which when it's at the body shop, I'm hoping you can apply to this, and that'll also help with the seal along the whole of this. Yeah, let's have a look how it goes anyway. Wow, this is seriously corroded. Look at the state of that. Look what that was hiding. That will not do. So now I've got this open, I can see you got your holes here, which I assume is for where the water's supposed to drain into. But maybe because the strut brace was so tight on this that any water that was getting in, it just wasn't getting through the hole. So my idea is, not sure if this is safe or not. Hopefully it is, I don't really see why not, but once this is all cleaned up and possibly touched up, because this looks very, very rusty, hopefully it's just rust on the surface and not actually damaged to the actual metalwork. But what I'm thinking of doing is actually putting a little washer underneath each of these before it actually gets bolted down, and that way any water that does get in, hopefully underneath the strut brace, this section should drain through those holes. That's my idea anyway. Right, pretty much ready to stop now and get these two parts sent off to the powder coaters as well as the battery tray. So I've given this all a good clean, but as you can see, this has gone rusty, and I know that that was not that bad. So another thing for Flawless, you may need it another day or so, I don't know, but when it is at the body shop for the top mounts to be repainted, I think I might ask him when he takes this off if he can just sort of, I guess, treat the rust, give it a lick of paint. The other side isn't too bad. I've just put this here just for now, just don't want any water getting on the some of the battery electronics sort of thing when I've been cleaning. But yeah, giving that a quick clean again. That's a bit tarnished, but I've given that a good clean along the edge. I could do with giving that a polish though. As you can see, I've just taped a plastic bag just so I prevent any water getting into here, because this is the thing, it is a daily. I'm trying to get these parts sent off while still being able to drive the car. I've just punctured a hole so when this closes I can bolt up my driver's side wiper. Hopefully it doesn't rain, but it is forecasting that it's going to rain during these next days, couple of weeks. So it's a few days later and I'm back at High Peak Powder Coaters, and this is what I have brought back, and it is looking so nice and fresh and shiny, and it looks great. The Subaru Gold that they've done it in looks like it's a really good match, and I've got the battery sort of bracket as well. Now I painted this myself, but this looks a lot better than what I had. It looks like a nice thick, nice shiny coating, and the OEM battery tray from Ford, which was obviously a bit in a worse state, and that was a brand new one, has been done now in gloss black, so that should be nice and rust free, so that when the battery tray and the top mounts are done at Flawless, all this can go back on and it should be looking really good. So a week later, the car went off to Flawless, the body shop, as you know now, who did the full paint job on the car. I left it there for a week. I've just gone and picked it up, and it is looking awesome. So big shout out to John there.
John's a good, solid name. I like it.
And if you're in need of any sort of paint work, definitely go and see John at Flawless. Just because of the way it worked out with being able to drop the car off with work and family stuff, I wasn't able to take the battery out and the coolant tank out myself, but he got a couple of pictures for me to show you. So it was then all masked up and primered. Then we had the first coat of Panther Black put on there, and then the lacquer, which just looks so good. And I'll show you a closer look of how it looks now. Just look at them. How good does that look? It is so nice and shiny, like all in here has been done, and you can't really see it. See if I can get the camera to pick it up, but right down there, that's all nicely painted and lacquered. Just look at that Panther Black. So nice. And we've got the new strut brace as well on there. This has all been painted as well, so you know, a lot of that is hidden, the wiper tray, but the thing is you can see it has been done. It's nicely protected. Now the tops of these I have got in my hand here, some new ones. But the reason they don't quite fit is because what I've done, or not what I've done, but what John has done, is I asked him to put a washer underneath these, just that one washer, because what I was hoping is if any water does get in here, there's new drain holes, which I'm going to show as well. Just before it got all epoxy primered, the tray, he drilled a new hole which wasn't there, and hopefully that'll just help with any water to drain away so it doesn't pool up in here. Now hopefully that has been reduced because he fitted that new beading that went underneath the scuttle panel, so hopefully that helps as well. But if any water does get in here, then hopefully it doesn't kind of submerge the strut and get it rusty like it did before. Let me just shimmy over to this side. Again, look at that job. Come on, how good does that look? And if it can pick it up, we've got the new battery tray down there, looking nice and clean, all freshly powder coated. And when it was at Flawless, he painted the bolts as well. But you know, this has all been done. So, I mean, again, you can't really see it, but all inside there has been painted. And it looks so, so good. I love that. So the finish that it used to have was like that, which this is going to all get painted at one point, and that's what it looks like now. Oh, it looks so good. This has also been powder coated, so that is nice and shiny and new. Granted, this now lets it down, but I'm going to get it off to Flawless as well at one point and get it done properly, because my job has not lasted and it's just kind of crumbled and cracked, so hopefully that'll finish that off. And he did a few little touch-ups on the inlet, so that's looking really nice and smart now. All the little stone chips and bits of damage that happened when it was getting fitted have been touched up, so it's looking so good. Absolutely love it. Big shout out to John at Flawless.
John's a good solid name, I like it.
It is just like, I mean seriously, just look at that. Having that lovely glossy finish with the new powder coated parts, it's just stunning. See if the camera can pick it up. So as you can see in here, next to the strut, they've all been painted as well. Absolutely love it. Now before I do end this video, one thing that I did want to try and do to the car is I bought some of this D-shaped rubber, I don't know what we really call it, but normally it's for like seals around doors and bonnets and things like that to reduce noise and stuff like that. What I want to do is I want to kind of put this like rubber sealer thing on maybe the top of the headlight here, because when the bonnet's closed there's a big gap which just looks quite ugly. So I think if I just look on our Kia, for example, you can see how these kind of do get these like rubber seals so the water isn't getting in, and that's the sort of thing I want to try and achieve with mine. Right, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that looks so good! That looks ace! Look at that. That gap, it does actually look better. It seals it off really, really nicely. Look at that. I love that. So that's what it looks like. And then I'll show you what it looked like before. So you see how I've got this like big gap I can get my finger in? Look, the whole way along. It's sealed. That's so good. I love that. I think that actually kind of makes it look a little bit more higher quality. That's it now. The car is ready. I think it's just, you know, the other little bits of TLC, but generally that's the kind of prep I wanted to get done before all the car shows this year. Ford Fair, Trax and Ford Fest. It'd be awesome to meet some of the people who actually follow me, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram. Come and introduce yourself if you fancy. Yeah, and come and see the car. I'm really proud of how it has turned out, and it is a big thanks to John.
John's a good solid name, I like it.
To getting it to how it looks today. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. Thumbs up, always really good. It makes the channel look better when you get to see this interaction and these likes. And I can't wait now to get to these car shows. I'm so proud of how the car is this year. It's just that extra next level compared to where it was last year. So yeah, really, really happy with it.